Good. Okay, folks, we'll call the meeting to order Wednesday, November 6th at 7:33 p.m.
Councilwoman Selby,
Not present.
Councilman Cardicchini,
Present.
Supervisor Keating,
Present.
Councilwoman Lukacek,
Present.
Councilwoman Martin,
Present.
Councilwoman Lukacek, will you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, folks, I'm just going to step out of format just a little bit. Under preliminary matters, we do have a section on here, which is our number 3 with the Pledge of Allegiance and opening prayer. We don't have a pastor here tonight, but I do want to take the opportunity under the opening prayer section just to have a moment of silence. There was 2 people recently in our community who sadly had passed away. Butch Lasowski, he worked in our code enforcement office for a number of years, and then also Brian Downey. Both recently, sadly, are no longer with us, and our condolences go out to the family. So I'd like to take a moment of silence to honor both of them and their families. Okay, thank you. All right, moving right along, we do not have any preliminary matters under our first item. So moving on to item number 2 under our regular business is the correction and adoption of minutes from the October 16th, 2024 meeting. And Councilwoman Martin, would you like to take that item tonight?
Yes, thank you, Supervisor. I reviewed the minutes from the October 16th meeting, and I make a motion to approve them as reported.
I'll second.
Councilman Cardicchini,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek,
Abstain.
and Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, item number 2 under our regular business is the consideration of all fund bills. And Councilwoman Lukacek, would you like to take that item tonight?
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. In reviewing the fund bills, Abstract 1, 2024 payables for the journal entry number AP-4680. I make a motion that we approve total payables due $138,757.27.
I'll second.
Councilman Cardicchini,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, moving along. Item number 3 on our agenda tonight is our correspondence. There are 6 items. All have been received and filed in the town clerk's office and part of the board packet online, and they are as follows. Item 1 is the NYSEG RG&E offer for energy efficiency programs to minimize cost while maximizing comfort. Item number 2 is the code enforcement officer reports from January 2024 through September 2024. Item 3 is the Erie County Agricultural District's inclusion of variable agricultural land document. Item number 4 is the Erie County Water Authority EPA 2024 lead and copper rule improvements, also known as LCRI mandate. Bless you. Item number 5 is the Participating in Clean Energy Communities program update for the town of Boston. Item number 6 is an application for meeting facility for the HEAP outreach program that will be held here at the town hall. Moving along, the next item, item number 4, is our new business, and item 1 are requests from the floor. So if anyone is in the audience would like to come up to the microphone and would like to make any comments or bring any concerns to the town board, please come up to the microphone, state your name and address, and please keep it to 3 minutes each. The floor is now open.
Jay Jackson, 7964 Back Creek Road. I need a teleprompter to remember what I'm going to say here because there was a lot of details. This is on the manger. We have replaced the floor, the floorboards, wall pieces that needed doing. We used the funds that the townsfolk donated. We used Rucker lumber for the material, paint, plywood, all that good kind of stuff. We had first time around was Frank Gamble, town historian, Pat Murtha, John Fornes, senior, and then the second time that was to do the mechanical work, replace the wall boards and the floor and stuff like that. And then the second time to actually get it painted, we had Terry, whose last name I never got. He's one of the folks' neighbors, Doug Miller, Carl Simith, and Vito Chiz. We got the thing painted. Carl actually went back and redid the floor, got the, used up the rest of the paint and got a second coat on there. November 20th, Dave Gerwitz of North Boston Garage is going to position the thing. Somebody very kindly drove a stake. Our attorney, Ryan, got in touch with the Hamburg overhead door to get permission. They very kindly said yes. Let me think. Barry actually did as well. Barry of Parks also made the same contact. And on the 20th, he's going to put the thing in position, and then the Saturday and Sunday, I think. We're shooting for Saturday because Sunday is the town band's concert after Thanksgiving. I'll let you look up the dates, but it's that Thanksgiving weekend. We're shooting for Saturday. Hopefully we have enough folks. Last time it just took us an hour to get all the figures down there and in place. If you're available, pay attention to social media and you'll hear when it's going to go on, and we'll put all the figures in. And once again, we'll have another one. Lois actually made mention that we may not need to be doing very much with it over recent years. Oh, that was the other thing that Carl did. He sprayed underneath, got the metal all looking nice. Coat of black, I guess the rust resistant stuff. So yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jay.
You're certainly more than welcome to come up right now. Yep. Sure.
Just got a quick couple notes here that I wanted to go over. My name is Jeff Persanti, 7806 Fedek Road. You guys have all probably got to know us quite well on Fedek Road. I'm just going to make a quick sales pitch here to everybody, and it's not actually a sales pitch. It's just we'll say a hypothetical. So if I have this really great new pen. I'm a new company. There's not a lot of information about me, and this new pen, it's going to do wonderful things for the town. It's got this wonderful ink that lasts forever. It's super efficient. It's going to maximize productivity. It can data log. It can do this. It can do that. And I'm going to make you all kinds of promises about it. I actually hired a company that did a lot of studies, and the studies show that this pen has worked for this company, that company, and you guys are missing out by not taking advantage and embarking on this opportunity to incorporate this really great pen into your town, and even maybe have the residents use it too. It's great. I can tell you it's wonderful. This company that we hired, they can provide you guys the study. They can tell you everything that you want to hear. The only problem is that there's really not that much data to actually prove anything about this pen. I just gave you guys a lot of information, and you're not going to take me at my word. And I don't think any of the taxpayers would take anybody at my word if I was making a sales pitch. They're going to want to do research. They're not just going to want some fly-by-night operation and just say, oh, okay, you hired a company. We believe you. What's there to say that the company was influenced by me at all to promote my sale of this pen to you guys? Now, the reason I'm making this pitch is because it's kind of similar to what's going on with the local solar project. And this is where I wanted to bring up a couple little exceptions here. Now, this pen pitch that I made, this little hypothetical pen pitch sales that I'm trying to show to you guys, I'm emphasizing some benefit to the town, some benefit to the taxpayers, because it's going to save you money, it's going to increase productivity, so on and so forth. Now, when there was a pitch made regarding this solar project, is it going to benefit the town? Is it going to benefit the residents? Is it going to benefit the taxpayers? The answer to those questions, it was no. It's going to benefit one single landowner, and it is going to be detrimental to all other landowners in the area because of property values, not knowing anything about the long-term effects of that very similar to this pen with the everlasting ink, the data logging. You can see what the person with the pen did, and all these ridiculous, frivolous claims. Now, the thing is, when you guys are all here, you're elected officials. You're put up there by the taxpayers, and we appreciate everything that you guys do. We hope that you guys conduct extensive research to make sure that anything is actually going to benefit the residents and benefit the town before you embark on anything and just give them the go-ahead. Because just like this ridiculous, frivolous pitch that I made with this pen saying the everlasting ink, all this nonsense that I just gave you, any company could come in here with their own hired firm that, how do you know that they weren't influenced or not? I mean, come on. We need to just sort out some facts. We need to be really critical of things that we hear like this, especially when it affects so much of the town, the residents, and it really does not benefit them. When it just benefits the company and benefits a single landowner, that's where there's a problem. And we can't just take people at their word, especially when there's certainly bias. Because if I was trying to sell you something, if I'm trying to make this sales pitch for this wonderful new pen that's got all these ridiculous features that could be great at first, but a decade down the road, I mean, what happens if there's something in here that contains carcinogens? It's made in China. We don't know what they're doing there. There's very few regulations on the manufacturing process of this. And the same thing goes with this solar facility. And I'm going to try to wrap this up quickly. I don't want to keep going too long over my 3 minutes. And if I did, I apologize. But obviously this pen is a much, much, much smaller scale than a large scale solar facility in a residential agricultural area. The reason that I'm saying this is because I am hoping that for additional studies, especially with these solar panels, basically making this farmland useless, making home values around the project within I don't know how many exact square mile radius drop, which has been proven by many, many, many real estate agencies, that not only does it have that effect, but it also has the effect on the wildlife, the runoff from the water, and going into an area where it is part of the Lake Erie watershed. Our drinking water comes from there, and you're introducing something that you have no idea of the long-term effects, what's in these things, what can be done, and taking a company at their word, at that face value, from some company that they hired to promote their solar facility just doesn't seem right. And I hope that you guys as elected officials can continue to push the fact that there needs to be many additional studies done, and look at the fact that this benefits, as I said one time earlier in my little statement here, that it benefits one single landowner. It doesn't benefit the town. It doesn't benefit the residents. Well, it does benefit the company. So there's two people involved in this that are going to have some sort of benefit in the company who's not even part of this community. So if you could, I just would hope that there is a positive declaration for additional studies and anything else that needs to be done before we move forward with this. And I apologize if I went over my time, but thank you very much. If there's anything else that you might need from me, I'll gladly answer anything that I could.
Now, we're for the open floor session, it's not a two-way dialogue, but
Okay.
you're certainly welcome.
Great.
So, thank you.
Thank you.
Much
Appreciate it. And I apologize for going over.
It's okay. Thank you. Yes, Deputy.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Deputy Miller again.
How are ya?
Good, thank you. Just go over my stats first, or our stats for the sheriff's office for the month of October. Sheriff's office handled 230 calls in the town of Boston, conducted 32 traffic stops, 57 premise checks, assisted fire and EMS 20 times. We had 6 accidents and 1 narcotics arrest.
an issue I've been addressing lately is the Taylor and Eckerd Road. I've spoke with our superintendent here about it, with the county. The county's answer was we did a study not too long ago, like do enforcement. I'm like, that's what I'm doing. So I've been up there. I was up there. I documented at least 7 times. It was probably closer to 12 to 15 over the month of
Okay.
October. I did have 2 violations I had. 2 other cars were stopped during then. So there are some violations that are occurring up there. My plan is to bring it up in the spring when usually there's more and more violations. Now we're getting in the winter. It's going to be, people are generally going to be hopefully driving slower because of the snow and such. I'm going to ask that they do another study again.
Okay.
I'm going to try to get my numbers to them and see what they'll do. Other than that, we'll keep doing enforcement, and I'll start spreading the word to everybody else who works this area, and we can just do more and more enforcement and hopefully correct the problem that way.
Thank you.
I was also attended the Boston Fire trunk or treat, which I thought was a huge success. Tons of kids. It was busy. It's a beautiful day. It was myself and Deputy Mohawk were able to attend. I can't remember how many pieces of candy we handed out, but it was quite a few. And it was very well. Nothing for me. I'm going to head out here shortly today.
Much appreciated. Just so you know, the last time we had to request, the town board had to request a traffic study, we had to pass a resolution, and it got submitted to Erie County Traffic and Safety Division. So if you need a resolution again, please let us know, and we'll be happy to.
I don't know when that was. They not.
I could,
Look it up.
yeah, Sandy or I could look that up for you.
It's like 2 years ago.
2 years. That's
Yeah.
what they
Yeah,
were claiming. All right.
Yeah,
I'll
we-
make sure.
got nothing.
Yeah, we
Okay.
had requested a 4-way stop sign. We'd requested a traffic study, and then gosh, I think it's been
Denied.
roughly 8 years ago. If you want to stop by sometime, I have it down in my office.
Yeah.
But the sheriff's office on your placard sign that it tells you know it's lit or not lit. That goes back to actually when Sheriff Howard was in office, and he put that sign up back then. So I have all of that data if you ever want to see it.
Okay, perfect.
Happy
Yeah,
to
I'll need that
compile
before I
that
go
for you.
back to them.
You got it.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Much appreciated. Okay, with seems no other comments, I will close the request from the floor. Moving right along, item number 2 is Resolution 2024-69, which is the adoption of the 2025 budget. I guess I'll take this one since I'm the budget the chief financial officer. I'd like to make a motion to approve Resolution 2024-69 to adopt the 2025 budget. There's quite a bit of information here. The adopted budget and the proposed budget is all part of the past board packets, but I'd like to make the motion to approve 2024-69.
I'll second.
Councilman Curticchini,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Item number 3 is Resolution 2024-70, authorizing an agreement with the Boys and Girls Club of Orchard Park Incorporated. And Councilman Carticchini, would you like to take that item?
Thank you, Supervisor Keating. I'd like to adopt Resolution 2024-70, which is authorizing the agreement with the Boys and Girls Club of Orchard Park in the amount of $75,000 for 2025 and $75,000 for 2026. I know over time there's been some criticism of bringing the Boys and Girls Club to Boston. I'm very proud to support them. And, we took a non-functional town rec program and turned it into a year-round, youth services program in this town. And I can't say enough about the club. I know that they very much value what we offer here, even though we have, a tight indoor building. Nobody regionally has anything near the facilities that we're able to provide the kids of Boston in this town park. So it's my pleasure to put Resolution 2024-70 on the table.
I'll second.
Councilman Curticchini,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right. Item number 4 is Resolution 2024-71, which is the SEEKR, standing for State Environmental Quality Review Act, determination of the solar project. So I'd like to make, I'll take this item. So the State Environmental Quality Review Act, I've said this at past board meetings. I'll echo it again. I know we have some new folks here in the audience. The seeker process, the town board is traditionally the lead agent on a seeker process. It is not a thumbs up or a thumbs down on the application. There's an extensive, and you can download off the state website. You can reach out to the code enforcement offices or mine. But the town board reviews all the information that's submitted on this project. So as far as going through and looking at all the information, the significant adverse determination is part of the language that is in there. And with that being said, the town board, again, this is a 2-page resolution. We don't usually have them this long, but we've done it, tried to do our due diligence, document everything. But I'd like to make a motion to approve Resolution 2024-71, issuing a negative declaration for the seeker process.
I'll approve.
Is that the second?
Second, sorry. Good morning.
Councilman Karatini,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilman Lukashek,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, item number 5 is a request from Supervisor Keating to attend the Association of Towns Conference from February 16th through the 19th, 2025. And I don't know, Councilwoman Lukashek, would you like to take that item?
Sure, Mr. Supervisor. So in reviewing the request for Supervisor Keating to attend the Association of Towns Conference this coming February, make a motion that we approve.
I'll
And
second.
report back to the town board as to what you learned, which he
Yes.
always does anyways.
Absolutely.
I'll second.
Councilman Karatini,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Abstaining as applies directly to me.
Councilwoman Lukashek,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you very much. Item number 5 is item number 6 is a request for Allison Kozer to attend the Association of Towns Conference from February 16th through the 19th, 2025. And Councilwoman Martin, would you like to take that item?
Yes, Supervisor, we received a request on November 1st from Allison Kozer, the Executive Assistant to the Supervisor, requesting attendance at the Association of Towns annual training, February 16th through the 19th. I make a motion to accept or approve her attending that training.
I'll second.
Councilman Karatini,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilman Lukashek,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, item 7 is an application of use of facility for the Boston Young at Heart Seniors. And Councilwoman Martin, I should have queued that one up better, but would you like to take that one?
Sure. We received an application for use of facility from the Boston Young at Heart Seniors for their meetings on the 2nd and 4th Fridays at 1 p.m. using the Town Hall Community Room with kitchen and bathroom facilities for, I'm assuming this is for 2025 for the
Yeah.
year.
Mhm.
And they requested the town board to waive maintenance fee
Yeah, the
because they take care of it themselves.
the application for use of
Right,
facility. Yep,
Right,
yep.
okay. I make a motion to approve that application.
I'll second.
Councilman Karatini,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukashek,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, item number 8 is another application for use of facility for the town of Boston. And I know this is after Halloween, but for the Boston Halloween party, which I hear was a great event. So Councilman Karatini, would you like to take that item?
Thank you, Supervisor Keating. There was a lot of deliberation in town because we're very saturated with trunk or treat. And after a lot of discussion, we decided to have a Halloween party, and it was after the last meeting that actually I had to miss. So I'd like to make a motion to approve after the fact the use of facility for the Town of Boston Halloween party for October 27th from 1 to 3 p.m. Requesting the Lions Shelter and bathroom facilities. There was no alcohol served. It was a public special event. It wasn't a private party.
I'll second.
Councilman Karatini,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukashek,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, item number 9. It's the first time we've really had to do this here in Boston, but I would like, I'll take this item. I'd like to schedule make a motion to schedule a public hearing for a moratorium on battery energy storage devices to be held on December 4th at 7:35 p.m.
I'll second.
Councilman Cardicchini,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek,
Yes, with the amendment of battery storage buildings.
Buildings? Fair enough.
Yeah, like devices is very different than a building.
Councilwoman Martin.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, we do not have any other old business tonight, so we'll move on to reports and presentations. And Highway Superintendent, you have the floor.
Yes, thank you. Leaf pickup is going on. I think we're a little, well over halfway through with the leaves. Anybody who lives in town looking for leaves, we'd be glad to deliver them. Honey. Other than that, me being the park superintendent, and over the last month, the highway department helped the parks. We did some topsoil work down at the North Boston Ballpark, the soccer fields, filled up some ruts and leveled up some spots and did that. We, on the walking path behind the town hall, there was a couple spots on the walking path where the trees, roots pushed up on the blacktop and made some tripping hazards. So we saw cut and dug them out, re-blacktopped them. And other than that, in the parks, we helped the parks workers put topsoil around the town hall, around the concrete curb. There was a tripping hazard, our insurance company said, and they wanted it fixed. So we went and got topsoil and put down some topsoil and seeded it, and got well trampled in this yesterday for the voting because they walked through new topsoil. So. Of
course.
Other than that, that's all I have tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Cardicchini, you have the floor.
Thank you, Supervisor Keating. I got a couple thank yous for the Halloween party. Like to thank Patchen Fire Company for coming out and passing out treats. Cindy Williams and Barbara Moore for donating the coloring sheets and the Paula's donut holes. Red Cider Mill for apples and cider. Kathy Weber for Tim Hortons gift cards and Nick Charlap's gift cards and the sweet, what's the bakery next to? Sweet Spot Bakery, Jennifer Warren State Farm, Bob and June T-Lax Pumpkin Farm. And I'd like to let everybody know that next year, we got kind of bookended this year with the early voting. We couldn't use the community room and have it indoors. So for next year, we're going to get our date set early, and it's going to go back to what it was for 50 years in this town. And that was an evening event with music and coloring and treats and all those things that, the kids come out to do. But, it's social for the parents and the adults too. So I just want to let everybody know that that's going to be happening for next year. It's Trunk or Treat was just too saturated with Boston's event. And I believe Faith United had one. There was one at Boston Valley School. So we're trying to do something a little bit different, maybe a little nod to tradition. Thank Jay Jackson and his crew for the manger work. That's great. I know I'm like the last guy in the world that's available at a drop of a hat, especially right now with everything going on. But I was with you in spirit, and thank your crew. Jeff, I appreciate your pitch tonight. I was going to be cute and ask you to borrow your pen, but as it relates to the process, I mean, there's a framework in which things have to happen. And believe me when I say, we want to make the right decision on these things as they're presented to us. And it's just following the process. I didn't want you to walk away tonight without being acknowledged.
Yeah. Mm-mm.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no problem. And, it's our job as a board to be objective and to look at things as they're presented to us. In a lot of cases, it really doesn't matter, how we feel about it. We have to look at things in their entirety as the process unfolds. So I just wanted to mention that. And thank Deputy Miller. I think that's the first time we've ever received a report
Yeah.
from a sheriff on the activity in the town. So
Yeah,
that's
awesome.
all I have tonight.
Yeah, thank you very much. Councilwoman Lukacek, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. The planning board does have a meeting coming up on November 12th, Tuesday at 7:30. And they've already got the the agenda already identified. So if you're interested in just listening in, they'll be more than happy to have an audience. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you. Councilwoman Martin, you have the floor.
Yep, I'd like to thank Councilman Cardicchini for bringing back the Halloween party. That's awesome. I will try and make it next year. This year I was working. And then to speak to the solar project again, we have a lot of boards and a lot of advice that the five of us get up here in working through this entire process. So we do have a lot of people working the background and giving us plenty of information so we can all make the right decisions for everybody in the town. So that's all I have for tonight.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Madam Clerk, you have the floor.
Thank you, Supervisor Keating. Just an update on the leftover DMP permits from the New York State DEC. Though there are some left over for bow and regular shotgun season. For lifetime hunters, there is no charge for those additional DMPs, and there is no availability though for 9H, but there are some in the close areas of 9F and 9G from the last time that I had looked. Yesterday's Connect Life blood drive was right here in the courtroom. There were 20 units collected, which helped save the lives of 60 local patients. Next blood drive will be Tuesday, December 3rd, back in the community room from 2 to 7 p.m. The town hall will be closed on Veterans Day, Monday, November 11th. And we will be having, as Supervisor Keating reported in the correspondence, there will be a HEAP outreach right here in the courtroom on December 11th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. So if you have any questions, certainly give me a call or reach out directly to Erie County Senior Services. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you very much. For my report, first and foremost, I'd certainly like to thank Ellie, the town bookkeeper, for all of her work on the budget. There's a lot of discussion went into this year's budget, but Ellie is really instrumental in doing a lot of the logistics and the tabulations, and we certainly spend a lot of time together working on this. But she really is instrumental in doing that. So I'd like to give a public shout out to Ellie for all of her time there. I did bring this up at the last meeting. I did want to echo it. If you haven't seen the new rural transit van driving around the community, that is officially out and up and running. If anyone in the community is interested in volunteering their time for the rural transit van that serves Boston, Springville, Colden, Concord, please reach out to Rural Transit Services. You can either contact my office or Sandy, do you have the number also? You have the number.
Oh,
well.
yes, certainly.
Yep. So you could contact the town clerk or my office. We'll be happy to get you in contact with the team over there. I did want to bring to everyone's attention, we just sent out the email today. The town hall will be closed on November 19th, and this is due to the new generator that's going in. We need to have a transfer from for the power to get that over out to the pole. And unfortunately, the window of time that NYSEG is providing to us is a timeline of between 4 to 6 hours to make that transfer over from the time that they arrive to the time that they leave. So instead of inconveniencing the public or staff showing up for an hour or two, we decided to close the town hall. So that notice will go out on town website, social media, and of course out on all of the message boards here in town hall. I did want to thank the highway crew and parks crew and the highway superintendent. Yes, our comp insurance carrier did cite our curbs out there, and I agree with Bob that sadly all of the work that he and his crew did, it was, I don't think 24 hours later that I saw footprints in the new soil. I'm thinking to myself, this is fresh soil. It has grass seed on it, but there's footprints on it. You've heard me on my soapbox up here, so I won't do it anymore. But anyway, thank you, Bob. Much appreciated. The moratorium, I did want to touch base on this. This is the next wave that's coming here to the town of Boston. Town of Boston does not have a local law or a code for battery energy storage systems. And if you're not familiar with these systems, they can be anything from something small inside your house to something large as roughly a shipping container. There was a vendor. What prompted this decision was that an applicant, a potential applicant, because nothing's in front of us yet, had reached out notifying us of a potential opportunity that they were looking to work with the town on. I directed them, as I should, to the code enforcement office to, if they so choose, to get in front of the planning board, hence our process. But we do not have a code, nor do we have a local law. So hence why we're placing a moratorium on this. A moratorium does not mean it's not happening. It just gives the town board, code review committee, planning board, town planner, and others the opportunity to sit down, create a comprehensive code, a local law, that then when these projects come before the town, then we have something that we can then work through, just like we did, with the solar project. So that is the purpose of this. But again, it is a public hearing. So anyone speaking for or against said projects or concerns or other matters, please feel free to come in. We have started to obtain local or codes from other municipalities, NYSERDA and other entities. So we'll kind of compile those, create something that is ours that fits our community and go from there. But I did want to touch base on that tonight and the reason for that public hearing. Hopefully we do get some people there. I would like that, as always. We're always open to that kind of feedback. And then also, you and I've chatted many times on the seeker process. It truly is a list that all of us as a town board taking lead agency under that process, we go through. Is this met? It's line by line, and with all the information coming from New York State, Erie County, SHPO, which is State Historic Preservation Organization. I could go down the laundry list, and again, hence a lot of this is baked into the resolution, so it will be part of town's history. We have done our due diligence, and as something that we've always promised to you and your neighbors that have come in. I know some people respectfully do not like this, but we can't just arbitrarily say no. So, I certainly want to answer that for sure. Yeah. You're most welcome. But with that is all I have for tonight. So I'd like to make a motion to end the meeting at 8:10 p.m.
A second.
Councilman Cardicchini,
Yes.
Supervisor Keating,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lukacek,
Yes.
Councilwoman Martin.
Sorry.
Yes.
Motion carried. Meeting adjourned.
Yeah. So I don't know what. Well, I mean, he's got 100 things. I mean, when I called him